Hello, this is Anti-Darwin, and after a short break, I'm here to do another VOD. This is a game played on Snowplow between two very well-known players, and one is an old player, or latter season 3 champion, Technique, and he's playing with a Smurf, was made for killing, and he's playing versus one of the best Empire players around. In fact, in my opinion, with the Queen Oni gone and inactive recently, he is the best player, Empire player at the moment in the current scene. This is my personal point of view, even though RS Imper and some other Empire players can disagree to this. Now let's start the match. We see this is an Empire mirror. Eminence green is down south, and was made for killing is a technique using a Smurf orange up north. And let's start the match. This is technique orange, and I'm going to arrest him that throughout the match. And then there is Eminence. Now this is a snowplow, and obviously both players are gonna fight for the oil derricks. Standard play, both making power plant first, and Eminence has made deployed one dojo core in his main base, and he is I think no, he's not decided to go 4 dojos, but he has made 3 dojo start, while Technique has made 2 dojos up front, and then he has decided to go for 2 refineries and then a third dojo, and he's making a second power plant, while Eminence isn't making that. And he's really good with these walls early on, because it's really difficult to make walls early on with Empire especially. And he's moved that MCV towards near to these refineries, so that he can then be able to make walls easily. This is a good builder from Eminence, and you see that now the fight for capturing the Alderich has started, and both players have deployed their dojo cores on the west side, West Alderich, and Eminence was just fast enough, and he has captured this oil derrick. And let's see on the east side what's happening. And Eminence is blocking this deployed dojo, and he's blocking it successfully, while Technique is making walls and trying to counter this dojo, but he has lost the tank buster, and he will try to counter this situation. Technique. Now we see both Empire players have made war factories, and Technique has not decided to cramp up his base a bit. He's a lot of space over here in his main base, and I think this is a good build positioning. He's always been great in positioning his buildings, while he's just managed to capture the oil derrick as well, while Eminence has brought Tengus to try to disrupt his positioning. And I think he's going to recapture this oil derrick, because Technique decided to sell that dojo core, and he went with the IW. Let's see what's happening in main base of Eminence. Just like I was discussing those oil derricks, Technique slipped in one dojo in the main base of Eminence and deployed it, and you can see these walls near his war factory. And Eminence has 6 Tenjus already out in the game, and he's managed to take out that Imperial warrior out of the civilian structure, and Technique is trying to make sure that he destroys this dojo core and somehow maintain this oil derrick, because oil derricks are so important in Empire mirrors. And you see that he was attacked just now by Technique's Tengus, and I was focusing on this incident as I believe that this is a very important thing, these oil derricks. That's why I wasn't focusing, and you can see this spacing, beautifully done spacing in his main base and positioning of his buildings. He has made a defender VX in a smart position, and he's opened up those walls, so his collectors are very safe, in a safer position, while Eminence is trying to destroy this oil derrick because Technique captured this oil derrick somehow, and he is using those Tengus to destroy this oil derrick, while in main base of Eminence, in the meanwhile, Technique is continued to harass him with the Tengus, and this two walls, Eminence should just make a dojo or just aim at these walls, because it's so crucial in Empire Mirrors to scout the Tengus if they are lifted or not, so that you can aim at them later on. This is a really crucial thing in Empire Mirrors, which I learned through the hard way, to be honest. And this is Technique has made a dojo, and he's been out Tenjued by Eminence. Eminence has 10 Tenjus, I suppose, while Technique has 8 Tenjus. So in Tenju counting, you can say that Eminence is way ahead in economy, and as well as he has more Tenjus than Technique, and Technique is forced to deploy this dojo core over here because it was spotted by the Tenjus of Eminence, and Eminence has smartly lifted those Tenjus, and he's scouting the base, he's scouting opportunities to catch Technique's Tenjus when they are lifted in the air, and focus on one Tenju and try to take it out in the sky somehow, and get his advantage even more. But I think I still think he should first destroy these walls, because now Technique also know that Eminence has gone for the third refinery. He has spotted this, make no mistake about it, because of these walls, and this could be crucial. Now Technique came with a sudden transport in trying to capture this oil derrick, but he has completely and utterly failed to do so. And he has, as Eminence was busy in protecting his oil derrick from being captured, Technique has come, and as he is scouting using these two walls, has attacked the collectors of Eminence, and he's in a spot of bother at the moment. Even though he's in a great position, he's using his MCV and to lure these Tenjus out of his main base, but Technique is going to take out successfully one ore collector, while the other ore collector is not collecting any money at the moment. So this means that Technique is doing a good job in harassing, and he has made sure to protect these Tenjus and bring them to a safe position. Now you see that Eminence has realized the importance of these walls, which I was talking about, and somehow he's attacking this building. I don't know why players do this. They press control and assign their units, and then they somehow force attack something in the vicinity nearby. I don't know why they do it, but they do it somehow. And he first wanted to attack these two walls, but he hasn't destroyed these two walls near his main base, and Technique isn't healing them either. And he's got a big Tenju army going to main base of Technique in the air, while Technique is hovering around his main base, and he is looking for opportunities. And once again, due to these two walls, he knows that his base is not defended properly, and he has found a way to come into his main base and started directly attacking his mecha base. And he is doing it with utter ease at the moment. He is attacking, but he's lost a couple of Tenjus because he's not aiming at Eminence War Factory, and Eminence has realized it, that he has to make a War Factory, and Eminence finally Finally, after being harassed so much by these two walls, being scouted and stuff, he has finally decided to destroy these two wall placings, and he's making a dojo core because during these fighting moments, his technique has used a sudden transport, and that was a pretty good move actually. He has used the sudden transport to capture this oil derrick, but still, do not make mistake, technique is still on 2 refineries and 1 oil derrick, while Eminence is on 3 refineries. So economically, Eminence is way ahead of technique, and Eminence has just made Defender VX. He is in a defensive mode at the moment. But I don't know why, because he's still got a lot more Tenjus. He's tier 2. Technique, on the other hand, he is tier 1 and has a lot of Tenjus hovering around the main base of Eminence and looking for an opportunity. He is looking for an opportunity while Eminence is just hanging in there, turtling at the moment. He's not scouting technique at all. And technique has lured 1 Tenju in the refinery of Eminence, and he's trying to destroy this oil derrick. But the oil I'm really sorry, the ore collector. But he has just lured that oil collector away, and he is somehow Eminence is going to strange places. Maybe his intention was to hide his Tenju force and army and lure technique into attacking his base, so later on he can attack him backwards. And this is Eminence is playing mind games with technique, I suppose, because I don't think he's that stupid to leave his main base, but at expense of letting his one ore collector being destroyed or something. There is a Tenju war going on here, and both players have equal amount of Tenjus, but Eminence has lured Technique's Tenjus towards that grounded striker VX, so they can destroy those Tenjus, and this war is continuing. Both players are attacking. Technique is attacking some of Eminence Tenjus from the backside. This is good micro, and he has won the Tenju war here in the seaside. This is a good play from Technique, and Eminence will remake this collector now, and he's just made a power plant. He is forced to sell that striker VX turret, and Technique is just landed those Tenjus. Perhaps he's thinking about going back to his base so that he can heal those Tenjus and help them, while Eminence is trying to settle down. He wants to settle down because he's been attacked most of the times. I haven't seen anyone one attacked by Eminence on Technique, but Technique has attacked Eminence many times, and at this moment he has got more Tenjus, and once again he's attacking the collector. He's attacked the collector of Eminence, and he's just made sure that the collector of Eminence isn't making any money, and he has lowered those Tenjus down, forcing that ore collector to go out of the refinery walls, and he's destroyed that collector and now running away with Tenjus. So in the process he has lost a couple of Tenjus, but still he has managed to destroy that ore collector, and he's running away to I guess heal his Tenjus. But make no mistake, he is in the air, and he's dominating the air with Tenju forces. Yet let's check if he's producing even third refinery. No, he isn't. He isn't producing his third refinery, and you see that he has forced Eminence to go tier 2 VXs more and tanks, and somehow he has placed a dojo core near third refinery of Eminence, and he has forced him to sell that refinery. So finally, for the first time in the whole match, Technique has the economic advantage, and the Eminence is looking in danger. This experienced Empire player is looking in great danger, and let's see how he reacts to this situation, because economically Technique has two refineries, one oil derrick, while Eminence has only two refineries. Let's see what happens. This five Tengus, he has managed to protect them from those flying VXs. And he's gonna go back, or either he's gonna stay here, keeping harassing, and he's doing just that. This is aggressive play. The tank busters are coming in. The same tank busters that forced Eminence to sell the refinery. And he has lost both those tank busters. But remember, Eminence Collector is not collecting ore for 30 seconds or something, and even these things count, and he has destroyed this other ore collector. While I wasn't paying attention, Eminence is forced to remake that ore collector, but Eminence still has a good enough decent ground army. He has 4 tsunami tanks and 5 VXs, and he's put the shield mode, and now he's saying to himself, this is enough, is enough. He's been attacked all throughout the match, and now he's going to attack his main base. But those Tengus, menacing Tengus, are coming, and they're gonna take out this ore collector easily, continuously harassing that ore collectors of Eminence, because Eminence doesn't have air superiority with Tengus. And this is what happens. This is what happens when you don't have enough Tengus. Now Eminence is attacking with ore collector, that oil derrick, and I suppose now he has a decision to make. Either he waits for that ore collector to destroy this oil derrick and come back to the main base, or he can remake the ore collector, and he has decided to remake the ore collector, as there is no guarantee that ore collector will be back. Eminence is forced and he has sold his refinery, and he is saying once again, enough is enough. While Technique is still on tier 1, he is still on 2 refineries, amazingly. Maybe he's trying to make that 3rd refinery and has pulled down his production. Remember, Technique is a master of adjusting and adapting with his build orders, and he's just made a power plant, positioning it, I guess, in the upper side of sea, so that he knows these power plants are not are in the way of the enemy. And he has used this protocol. I will check it. I just forgot the name of the protocol. Yes, Emperor's Revenge Protocol. He has forced it on the tank busters that are stationed and positioned by him to protect from these mass tsunami tanks, and he's using the MCV to protect his from these mass tsunami tanks and protect his infantry. This is desperate tactics from Technique, and the MCV has taken out Tengu and tsunami tanks. All of them are in secondary mode, and they're trying to squish these tank busters. Eminence has lost many tsunami tanks. He has lost 4 or 5 tsunami tanks, and now he has 1 Tengu on ground. This is not looking good for Technique. Technique is in a spot of bother at the moment, and but somehow with good micro he has managed to keep on destroying these tanks, tsunami tanks, and he's destroyed another one, but in the process Technique has lost MCV. The tank is taking a lot of beating from those Tengus. 2 of them are in... Yes, the tank is gonna be destroyed, and you see that the force is somehow he has managed to protect his main base from that vicious Eminence attack. But as you can see, on the other side of map control we are talking about, on the west side, you see an Imperial warrior inside the civilian structure for map control and map awareness. And down southeastern side civilian structure, there is an Imperial warrior in here. So Technique has an idea of how much buildings Eminence has. Both don't have MCV, and we won't be seeing protocols like point defense drones or Empire Revenge. We won't be able to see that. Technique has decided to go tier 2. He has made a VX. He has air superiority. 9 Tengus and 2 VXs. Let's see what Eminence has. Eminence has 3 tsunami tanks, 3 VXs. He is going for main base. He doesn't have an option for air superiority, so he is forced to go on land and attack on land. But Technique knows this fact, and he's coming for this ore collector here in his main base and try to harass and confuse Eminence, and he has managed to do just that, because sending one Tengu, just one Tengu, has prompted and forced Eminence to come back with all the army, because he thought all the Tengus will attack. But it was only one Tengu, and with the lack of map control, with the lack of even a dojo core or Tengus in the air, he isn't able to predict anything at the moment on what will happen and how we will be approached from this great champion player Technique, and he has just managed to destroy one ore collector. But again, Technique is using the Tengus and lowering the tanks after him in the seaside, and he has lost 2 Tengus, yes, but he is still in a great position because he has just managed to destroy one ore collector. And you see that these walls Eminence has made, he's forced to sell them, but this will also limit his sight of the map, which is important. That's why Eminence wisely has left one wall, fortress wall, over there, because in these close matches you need, and especially in an Empire Mirror, you need to see what the units are doing. Are they in air or on land? This is a confused matchup, a very difficult matchup. In fact, the most difficult matchup in Red Alert 3. And now you see those Tengus of Technique, 2 of them on star status, are coming on main base of Eminence and making him think that you have to defend yourself, Eminence. Eminence, you have to defend yourself. Don't come after me. Don't come after me. This is the message Technique is sending to Eminence, and Eminence says, okay, I'm going to defend myself, and he's spamming VXs. He has got about a lot of VXs, and he has got tsunami tanks, and he knows the situation, Eminence, that he cannot go above the Tengu count of Technique, and Technique also has a lot of VXs. He has 9 VXs, and Technique is bothering Eminence with those Tengu, and he's lured them there, but at the same time he's started attacking the Mecha Bay. Technique has destroyed the Mecha Bay of Eminence. This might be the turning point of the match. And now Eminence, with such a big army, he is going for main base of Technique, as he has got no option left. Technique using those Tengus, destroying the structures of Eminence. He isn't even bothered about killing the ore collector. He has almost destroyed this refinery, and he is idle with those Tengus while he's going back to main base with those VXs, and he's gonna be facing a lot of more VXs in his main base Technique, and he's using those VXs to, and the tanks has come. The tanks are attacking the power plant. This is an important structure because if Technique loses, he will lose power to produce units. And also this Defender VX and Eminence has mixed up his army composition. He's using 3 VXs to attack in the air and 3 VXs on the ground, other VXs on ground. So he has mixed up the unit composition, and has 1 tank and 5 VXs, while Technique has 1 Defender VX. They are attacking each other. They're attacking, and at the end of the day, somehow Technique has destroyed those remaining VXs, and he has declared himself victorious in this match. This was a very, very intense game, and even though it is an Empire mirror, this game was really entertaining in my point of view, because you cannot forget the fact that till the 40th time spent in the game, Technique was behind economically. He was really struggling, but somehow I think the crucial point was that Dojo Core coming to and deploying it in Eminence main base and making those 2 wall segments, which gave options to Technique to scout Eminence unit positioning, and whenever Eminence tried to do something with its unit or go away from his main base or something, he didn't have track or knowledge about positioning of Technique's air units and Tengus. Hence Technique used he timed those attacks perfectly, using the knowledge of what's happening around in base of Eminence, and he destroyed and harassed the economy of Eminence, managed to kill Ore Collector, and when Eminence responded, he just on land used the sea route and just ran on the sea and just kept his units alive. And then the second instance was, I think it has to be, that Eminence lost the 3rd refinery to that single Dojo Core that was deployed near that refinery, and Technique used the nearby civilian structure. He placed 3 tank busters inside it, and he destroyed and forced Eminence to sell that refinery. Also in the meanwhile, he captured that oil derrick. So basically, from then on, he had amassed a Tengu army more than Eminence, and he still had some key civilian structures occupied by the Imperial warriors, like on the west side near the oil derrick is supposed to be, and the southeastern side civilian structure near that 3rd refinery area. And he just did a good job, and in the end it was all about he managed to lure Eminence units away with that single Tengu, while his main purpose was attacking that war factory, because previously he forced Eminence to sell the MCV, and he destroyed the war factory. And then Eminence, with all the units he had, he went and there was a final fight, and he lost that final fight in the end, conceding this match. This was a really good game. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm signing off.